Suppose that some amount of money was invested at 10% interest, and 2 times as much was invested at 7% interest. If the annual interest income is $120, how much money was invested at 10%? Okay, so this is an interest rate problem, and you have to convert this word problem into an equation you can solve, and then solve for your variable, let's call it x. So what will our x be? Well, it says how much money was invested at 10%. So I'm going to say the amount of money invested at 10% is our x. And we call the initial amount of money invested in an account the principal. So if you put $50 in your bank account and it earns 10% interest a year, that $50 is called the principal. Then what the bank pays you is called the interest income. So it's good to know those two terms. In the lecture, they used a table like this to figure out what you're solving for. So like I said, we want to find our x. If the annual interest income is $120, how much money is invested at 10%? So let's call the money at 10% x. So in account A, I did two accounts. So account A will be the account that pays 10% interest, so that's 0.10, and the principal is x, like we said. We don't know what the principal is. And the interest income is the product of these because you're earning 10% a year. So if x were $100 and you're earning 10% a year, that means the interest income would be $10 per year. So we just multiply these together. We don't know what x is, but we know that the interest income is going to be 0.1 times x. Now account B, it says, and 2 times as much was invested at 7% interest. So account B is going to be the 0.07, that's 7% interest account. And the principal is 2 times as much as in the first account. So that's going to be 2 times x. And again, to get the interest income, we multiply the principal by the interest rate, and you get 0.07 times 2x. And if you want to calculate what 2 times 0.07 is, you won't be able to do that in your head, but we can do it on a calculator. So that's 0.14. So let's rewrite this. That's 0.14x is our interest income. So now what's our total interest income? Well, the word problem says if the annual interest income is $120. Ah, perfect. So we know that the interest from account A and account B, the sum of those should be $120 because this is all the interest we're earning, and our total interest income is $120. So let's write out this equation. We said 0.1x plus 0.14x equals $120. And now you should be able to solve from here. This is using your fantastic algebra skills. You do 0.24 is the sum of 0.1 and 0.14. X equals 120. And I'm going to cheat and use the calculator again. So we want 120 divided by 0.24. And you get 500. So we get, again, we divided both sides by 0.24. So we did 120 divided by 0.24, and we got x equals 500. And that's our answer. So because we said x was how much money was invested at 10%, we don't have to solve for anything else. It just x is that. That's what we're asking for. So let's check our answer. Correct answer is 500. Perfect.